It's now time for the number one podcast in iHeartRadio. It's Your House is Key, the podcast that opens the door to your dream home. Hosted by the remarkable Dannel Shepard, he's your trusted guide in the world of real estate. Whether you're buying your first home, selling your current one, or simply curious about the market, this podcast is your one-stop shop for all things real estate. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host and my good friend, Dannel Shepard.
What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in today. And as your favorite go-to realtor, I want to talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention. What is that? The hidden cost of home ownership. Now, I know buying a home is exciting and it's a beautiful thing. You've got the mortgage lined up, the keys are in your hand, and everything seems perfect, right? But then reality sets in and you start to realize, wait a minute. What's this bill for, right? You start asking these questions. What's this bill for? Why didn't nobody tell me about this fee? That's exactly what I want to dive into today. By the time I'm done with this episode, you'll feel prepared for whatever surprises home ownership may throw your way. All right, so let's jump in. First thing I want to talk about is the sticker shock after closing. So follow me, right? All right, so you closed on your house, and congratulations to you. That's a huge step. But then out of nowhere, the bills start rolling in. And let me tell you, did anybody tell you about property taxes? That and they can be a huge wake-up call. A lot of folks don't realize that when you buy a home, it gets reassessed for taxes based on its new value. Yeah. So if the previous owners lived there for 20 years, their tax rate may have been much lower. But now, right? You ask me, but what about now? Well, you're the new owner, and suddenly your tax bill looks very different. For example, here in Cincinnati, property taxes average around 1.5%, or 1.57, however you want to look at it. So on a $300,000 home, that's over $4,700 a year, almost $400 a month. And if you're in a neighborhood where there's an HOA, you've got to budget for those fees too. So I'm going to share a quick story. I had a client who bought a gorgeous home in a historic district, and she knew the taxes were part of the deal. But what she didn't know was that area was planning a big preservation project. So a few months after closing, she got hit with additional assessments for the neighborhood upgrades. She was not ready for that. So again, it takes some diving into, it takes some checking out. There's some things in the auditor, there's some sites, there's some resources. And it's also a conversation with the current selling agent on exactly what's here, right? Let's follow up on it. Let's see what the city has to offer. There's ways to figure it out. So what should you do, right? You want to set up a system for these kinds of expenses. That's one thing I want to tell you, because a little bit out of each paycheck can actually make a huge difference. So when the bills are due, it's not a burden. And depending on where you live, look into any tax credits or exemptions that help ease the load. So that is something that, most people don't talk about, or most realtors, not most. There are some people, I don't want to, that may overlook it or, of record. Well, you got to do some due diligence and check those records and figure out what assessment, what HOAs, what is this, what is that could come along with this price tag outside of the mortgage. The next thing I want to dive into is maintenance and repairs, right? Those are silent budget killers. So hear me out. Okay, so if we talk about the stuff no one really warns you about, upkeep is definitely one of them. Owning a home means there's always something that needs attention. See, that's the things that people don't want to tell you about. It's still a beautiful thing to own a home, but there's always something that needs attention. Whether it's mowing the lawn, cleaning out the gutters, servicing your HVAC system, regardless what it is, it adds up. It could be changing the paint colors in your house, changing the doorknobs, or buying a new TV. Something adds up, right? But the big killer is these things you didn't see coming, right? So what about the roof if it starts leaking, or the water heater decides it's had enough and it clunks out on you? Stuff like that doesn't just cost money. It always seems to happen at the worst possible time. Nowadays people say life is lifing. Well, guess what? That's what happens when it comes to home maintenance and repairs. Or most people say when it rains, it pours. But that doesn't mean you don't own a home. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy the home. It's preparing for these things that allow the life cycle of being in and enjoying the home fruitful and enjoyable. So again, here's another real life example. And they bought her older home again, right? It's the older homes. It had a lot of character, and she wanted to figure out the age of the home, the mechanics. So we knew the HVAC system was aging, right? But 3 months in, right? Boom. 3 months in, bang. Her furnace gave out in the middle of winter. That's a $6,000 surprise that she hadn't budgeted for. Whether you get the inspection and inspection looks good, or say keep an eye out on it, that doesn't mean things don't just happen, because they do. So here's the deal, right? Experts say you should save at least set aside 1 to 4% of your home's value annually for maintenance and repairs. Again, on a $300,000 home, that's anywhere from $3,000 to $12,000 a year, right? $3,000 to $12,000 a year. Even if you don't use it all, it is a safety net for when something big happens. And trust me, something will happen. It's like, if you are married or been to a wedding, or, people that are, and they say that thing for better and worse, not or when, if, but because something will happen, right? Just everybody's level of tolerance is different. But I definitely want to dive into a couple more topics coming up after this break. Stay tuned.
For all your real estate needs, make Dannel Shepard and his dedicated team, the Lazo Group at Remax Time, your favorite go-to expert. With their unmatched expertise and commitment, they'll guide you through the home buying and selling process with confidence and ease. Reach out to them today to get started, and stay tuned for more.
Welcome back. Again, we're diving into the hidden cost of home ownership. So another topic I want to talk about is the utilities and upgrades, the costs you didn't see coming, right? So let's shift gears to utilities, right? Why not? You expect to pay for electricity, water, and gas. But do you really know how much? On average, right? On average, homeowners shell out anywhere from $200 to $400 a month on utilities alone. And if your home is older or larger, if you have a great room, that living room or family room with that real tall ceiling, yeah, you're looking to pay even higher bills, especially in the winter or dead summer, because it takes more energy to heat up or cool down that room that has that super tall ceiling and nice chandelier or ceiling fan, or has a bunch of windows. But again, right? Those are things that aren't always discussed. So here's how you can save. Invest in things like a smart thermostat. Seal up drafty windows. You can even tint the windows for the summertime, right? To keep the heat out and keep the home cool, right? And there's also energy efficient appliances as well. So these upgrades may cost a little upfront, but they'll pay for themselves over time. And that's what you're trying to do. Save money over time. So here's the thing. Speaking of upgrades, here's some fun things we can talk about. Maybe you're dreaming of a kitchen remodel or adding a deck to for those summer barbecues, right? Those projects are exciting, but they're not cheap. A kitchen remodel can easily be 20 to 50,000, depending on what you're doing, as well as you're talking about finishing a basement. That's another 20 or 10 or $30,000 coming out of pocket. So before you start knocking down the walls and thinking about whether to upgrade and adding value to your home, or even if it's just a personal splurge, right? And nothing's wrong with a splurge. But make sure you know the difference. Make sure you understand that if I knock down this wall, if I add this, or if I bring in new appliance, is it energy efficient? Is it saving me money? What will my utilities look like? Will things change? Because the more open, the more air or heat it takes. So those are some things just to keep in mind. Moving on, right? It's not last because it's least or least important. It's just the order of what I put it in. But guess what? This is very important, or this is as much as important as the very first one, is what I wanted to say. Sorry about that. So here's the thing, right? If your neighborhood has an HOA, please do not forget those fees. Because again, those go unaccounted for. There's late fees and penalties that come with it. So depending on the community, you could be paying anywhere from $100 to $500 a month, if not more. It all depends on the community. And here's the thing. Those fees don't always cover what you think. Trust me, I know. I live in an HOA. Sometimes they go toward maintaining amenities like a pool or a gym. And other times it's just landscaping and road repairs. And every now and then you get hit with a special assessment. Yeah, those special assessments can add up. It could be a one-time fee for something big, like repaving streets, new mailboxes. That was a personal one there. Or even light poles, or fixing a community pool. So these assessments can range from a few $100 to a couple thousand. So it's understanding and reading and get into, the HOA rules, regulations, and the bylaws, and see what your fee truly does cover. So before you buy, ask for the HOA financials. You're supposed to get those when you go under contract anyway. You have some days to review it. And when you review it, truly understand where the dollars go or what dollars could be asked for in the near future. Understand, is the HOA in good shape, or are they consistently behind on projects? Knowing these things up front could save you a lot of headaches later. So more information to come, definitely after this. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be back shortly after this break.
Hey there, I'm Tyler. Let me tell you about my amazing experience with Dannel Shepard from the Your House is Key podcast. Dannel didn't just help me find a house, he found me my dream home and saved me thousands. I trust Dannel Shepard with the Lazo Group at Remax Time, and so should you.
As always, thank you for coming back. So we're talking about the hidden cost of home ownership. So how do you become financially ready? Well, all right. Here's the takeaways from today. Owning a home is an incredible experience. So please know that it is an awesome thing to do, but it comes with responsibilities. The best way to enjoy it is to be prepared. Build a budget that accounts for all the hidden costs, whether it's taxes, repairs, utilities, upgrades, HOA fees. Make sure you set something aside. And hey, you're not alone in this. If you're thinking about buying or selling, or you just have questions, please reach out to me. I'm here to make your journey as smooth as possible. You can find me on Facebook, Dannel Shepard at the Lazo Realty Group, at yourhouseskey.com, DRS at yourhouseskey.com. My phone number again is always 513-703-0370. Facebook and Instagram, the Lazo Group, Dannel Shepard. You will find me. And I share tips and insights to help keep you informed. Call me with questions or concerns. I am here for you. So again, as always, thank you for spending time with me on the Your House is Key podcast. And remember, your house isn't just a place, it's a key to your future. So take care of it and take care of yourself. And I'll catch you on the next episode. So, Dannel Shepard signing out.
Thanks for listening to Your House is Key with Dannel Shepard. Each week, Dannel dives into essential tips, insider secrets, and expert advice to help you navigate the exciting journey of home ownership and home selling. From understanding market trends and finding the perfect neighborhood to even securing financing, staging your home, and closing the deal, there's only one guy that gets it done. Dannel Shepard, right here at yourhouseskey.com.